You're listening to The Bible Guys, a podcast where a couple of friends talk about the Bible in fun and practical ways.
Good morning.
Oh, man.
Good morning. We talk the whole night through. Good morning. Good morning to you and you and you.
Man.
Hey, good morning, everybody.
It's only the second day of this week.
Yeah, I figured why not shake it up a little bit, Jeff.
Wow.
I'm pretty
Get
wild.
right to it, man.
I'm feeling wild.
Get right to it.
I eat wild cherry lifesavers.
Did you?
No,
Good
I
for
don't.
you. Okay.
I don't even like lifesavers.
Really?
I used to as a kid.
What?
I'm not a candy person.
Yeah, that's right. You aren't a candy person.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is why we're friends.
Yeah, right.
Because that leaves more for me.
That's right.
I never have to ask, are you going to finish that?
Right. That's true.
Especially chocolate. That's the thing I don't understand about you.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I question our friendship over the chocolate thing.
Hey,
That you're not like...
I told you my experience.
I only know 2 people that don't like chocolate, and both of them are psychopaths. Like,
Are you saying I'm a psychopath?
yeah. Like, did you ever hear Hannibal Lecter mention that he liked chocolate? No.
No.
That's what I'm saying. So there's one.
He liked liver.
Yeah.
So,
Anyways,
Anyways.
I might be making a leap there.
okay. Hey, so I don't mind chocolate. Like I could eat chocolate with like peanut M&Ms.
Uh-huh.
If I were to buy a box of peanut M&Ms in a movie theater, I get about halfway through it, I'm like, I cannot eat anymore. But I can only eat the first half because it has peanuts in it.
Oh, wow.
When I get to the end of a Snickers bar, I'm like, woo.
Wow.
But halfway through it, I'm fine.
I walk through, and if there's chocolate, I have to taste it. I have to have it. I don't know why. It's just a...
I will say this very, very strongly. If it's like a Hershey's Kiss, absolutely not even a chance will I eat that.
No.
Just pure chocolate? No
I just
way.
ate 5 Hershey's Kisses last night. 5 of them, back to back to back. Little package of 5.
That's so funny.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
no,
I'm like, these are so good.
I just don't do it.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
sorry.
All right, so hey,
I
Jeff,
just can't
before
imagine
we,
the misery of your life.
it's
what I can't-
great.
It's
It's
all right.
great.
All right.
Hey, listen, we are launching into a segment that Desiree is calling Hot Take Showdown, and this is supposed to be where we debate.
Yes.
We're supposed to commit.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
So here we go.
Okay.
She said, "Do you agree with this statement? Debate, stand your ground, no middle ground." Here we go.
Okay.
The first statement is this: cursive should still be taught.
Yes.
Absolutely, it should.
It should be. I think so.
Yes.
Oh, you think so too?
Yes.
Wow. I thought you would say no.
No,
Yeah. You think it should be?
Yes, it
You
is.
have
It
good
is a.
penmanship.
It is a lost art,
Mm-hmm.
and honestly, it is. It's. There's so many things about it. It's elegant. It's quicker to write.
It is. Yes.
It's it's interesting because people have signatures in cursive, and yet nobody writes in cursive anymore.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So I think it's.
I do. I'll write in cursive. I'll write in cursive if I'm writing you a note.
Yeah.
I'll write in cursive and not print it.
Yeah.
Because you can't read my printing.
Oh, is that why?
Yeah. Mhm.
Well, I have decent penmanship, but I still like to do cursive when, like when I write a card to my kids, I do cursive just to show them that cursive exists.
Yeah. And can they still read it?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, great, I got another card I
Well,
can't read
because
from my
I
dad.
think they were the cutoff was after them,
Okay.
so I think they all learned it, right? But then there's a cutoff. So yeah, I mean, the Generation Alpha, I don't think they'll be able to recognize cursive.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's pretty.
I like it. I like how it looks. I think it's easier to read.
Yeah.
Even if you have poor penmanship, cursive, you usually read the beginning and the end of a word.
Yeah.
Anyways, and in cursive, there's usually distinct beginnings and ends. Right? Your first letter and your last letter stand out, even if there's kind of scribble in the middle. You can usually, and that's how you read. Is that so? That's part of it. It's easier
Well,
to read.
Bottom line is it's not that hard. Why did we
Right.
get rid of it? It's not that hard.
We are standing our ground.
Yeah. Let's go, people. Pick up the pace.
I don't know. Why did we get rid of it?
Raise the bar.
Because everybody's typing, and so we don't need to write cursive.
I think so.
I guess. Okay.
It seems silly to me.
Okay. And then the second one is it's okay to quit things you start.
Absolutely, it is.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I hate quitting things I start.
It depends on what it is.
I hate it. But I do it. I just hate it.
Why?
I don't know. I always feel like less of a man when I don't finish the things I start.
Every
time.
Let me give you an example. So
and I'm the worst at this.
somebody said, "Hey, let me talk you into running a marathon," and I was like, "Great." I'm gonna commit to it. I went public with it in front of everybody, in front of thousands of people. Then I started training for it, and then somehow I hurt my back, and I was like, oh, thank God. Thank God that I hurt my back.
I don't have to run this race.
I don't have to run this race. And then what I realized was, like 2 years later down the road, and I'm not kidding when I say this, my old church we used to work at, running was a big thing. And everybody on staff, there was a large staff, there were like 20 avid runners, 20, where they were like, running's my thing, man, marathons. And by the way, I'm not against runners. I'm just against runners running longer than your body was intended. Right? Because, a half a marathon,
crazy.
I think your body can handle a half a marathon.
Sure.
But every
Not
single...
mine. Some people's bodies.
Right.
You ever
right.
see me running, the cops are chasing me.
Right,
So-
right. But anyway, bottom line is 20 out of 20 had surgery. 20 out of 20.
Yeah.
Not
It's
19
hard
out
on
of
your
20.
body. It's hard on your body.
20 out of 20 had surgery because
Look
of
how
running.
fit I am.
Right.
And then they die. Right? Their body falls apart.
Yeah,
terrible.
they all had surgery. Back surgery, leg surgery,
Yeah,
knee
it's
surgery. It was just terrible.
There's a whole vein of medicine called sports medicine.
Yeah, that's right.
Right? And there's a whole segment just most of the orthopedic surgeons and stuff, it's for runners.
Right.
Most, right?
Well, our good friend Dave Wilson, he can't walk upright because he blew his knee out in the first game he ever played at in college football. And he's been on bone on his knee, and now he can't
crazy.
Straighten it up.
Well, we need to fix it.
Well,
I got a pocket knife. Maybe I don't know if I'm good at it, but I might be.
yeah, give him a new knee.
Yeah. So I think if you ever ask me what is the thing I wish I could change the most about me, it's this. I start a million things and I don't always finish them.
Really?
And there's nothing in me that says that's okay. Everything in me says just finish it. I would rule the world if I could finish all the stuff I start. And I think it's the ADHD thing in me. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, look it. Squirrel, right?
Yeah.
I'm always, there's another thing that catches my attention, and it's really exciting. And so I start tons of stuff. Home project. You can ask my wife. I'll start home projects, and I can't finish them. I've already made 15 trips to Home Depot. I get frustrated. It's time to call somebody to come and help me. Fixing a car, same thing. And I just feel like I should be able to do it. I just don't. And either I don't or I can't. There's a ton of those things. I probably have 25 unfinished projects right now, and nothing in me says that's okay.
Yeah. Well,
You know?
home projects.
Not just at home.
Okay.
Not at home. Just projects of writing. I'm writing a couple different things. I'm writing 3 things right now. None of the 3 are done. I just put a deadline on one of them recently. Deadlines. I like deadlines. Deadlines get me moving, get me motivated. But I've got so many loose ends, and it drives me nuts.
Huh.
Yeah, so I don't think it's okay.
I will say real quick, because I know we're coming up on our time. One time I tore the whole bathroom apart down to the studs, and I had friends that I know come in and just do bits and pieces, and it took forever because it was like mostly free.
Mm-hmm.
And but the bathroom was still undone after like a year. And slowly but surely we just got it put together. And so I kept on telling my wife, she's like, let's just hire somebody. And I said, no, I'll get it done, I promise. And then I went to Cuba and I came back and it was done. She had hired somebody
Yep.
when I was in Cuba.
Good.
And she had planned the whole thing. So, and I'm like, how much do we owe this guy?
Right.
But thank God he was a good guy and charged us a small amount.
That's funny.
So, well,
Okay.
hey, speaking of strong
I would
opinions,
say the one thing it is okay to quit thing is if you're eating a meal that's too big to finish.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what we're talking about is being hungry.
Oh,
righteousness.
We both went for it. Okay,
Yeah.
very good.
Yeah, does that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like it, Jeff.
That was a weak transition.
No.
We got there.
Hey,
we
no.
got there.
I thought it was
It got us there.
clever.
Yeah.
It was better than our normal lazy transition.
Yes, that's right. So in Matthew chapter 5, we just read in verse 6, God blesses those who hunger and thirst for justice or righteousness, for they will be satisfied. And then the premise of this entire series is Jesus sets up these 8 or 9 things that God blesses at the very beginning of the Sermon on the Mount, and then peppered all throughout the Sermon on the Mount are illustrations about those things. Mm-hmm. And one of them is this idea of hungering and thirsting for righteousness. Oftentimes, the people in Jesus' day looked at the Pharisees as being like super righteous because they obeyed all the laws of Moses. And so they equated righteousness with law. And so here in Matthew chapter 5, verse 17, Jesus says, don't misunderstand why I have come. I did not come to abolish the law of Moses or the writings of the prophets. No, I came to accomplish their purpose. And I tell you the truth, until heaven and earth disappear, not even the smallest detail of God's law will disappear until its purpose is achieved. So if you ignore the least commandment and teach others to do the same, you will be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But anyone who obeys God's laws and teaches them will be called great in the kingdom of heaven. But I warn you, unless your righteousness is better than the righteousness of the teachers of religious law and the Pharisees, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. Ooh. Talking about righteousness.
Yeah.
So on one side, yesterday we said, God doesn't say, I'm going to reward your righteous living. He said, I'm going to reward your desire
That's
for
right.
it. Bless you. And now Jesus says, you're not going to go to heaven if your righteousness doesn't exceed the righteousness of the Pharisees.
Yeah. So some people can misinterpret that, right?
Yeah.
So some people misinterpret that as saying Jesus is saying you have to live right in order to obtain heaven, right? But he's talking about the law being the vehicle that gets you to heaven, right?
Right. If you think the law is what gets you to heaven, you have to keep it perfectly.
That's right. That's what he's saying. He's saying the righteousness of the law is not what gets you to heaven, right? And so he's actually saying, listen, I've come to accomplish the law. I've come to fulfill the law. I'm not doing away with it, right? Just because I'm giving you new rules and I'm giving you a new commandment, love one another, and Jesus, he's the sacrifice that is the ultimate sacrifice. So he gives us a new covenant because of that, right? The brand new promise of salvation, everything else. So in a lot of ways, some of the Old Testament laws, they don't apply to us today because Jesus has fulfilled them. If there's a prophecy that's just been lingering unfulfilled for 700 years, Jesus fulfilled that. Right? He's accomplished that. There are some things in the Old Testament where Jesus came to complete. He put a bow on it, and it's done with, right? But he said, I'm not coming to do away with the law, right? Because anything that's not fulfilled, anything that I've not fulfilled or accomplished, it will exist all the way to the ends of the earth.
Right.
Right? So all the things that Jesus didn't come to satisfy, all the stuff in the Old Testament that still exists that aren't satisfied by Jesus, by his, salvation. What am I saying? Just his fulfillment of salvation prophecies, right, and everything else. He's saying will still exist, but then he's really talking about the law, and he's saying, listen, the law. You think the Pharisees are righteous, but you have to surpass them in order to get to heaven. So I just think that people will take this verse out of context a lot of times and think that they have to be righteous in order to get to heaven, but that conflicts with every other verse when God promises salvation, when God explains salvation. If you take all the verses about salvation, this verse cannot mean that.
Yeah, well, this verse is consistent with what Paul says. So Jesus is saying in a few sentences what Paul took several chapters in the book of Romans to unpack, right? If you think that the law can get you to heaven, the law is just a taskmaster. All the rules are there to prove to you that you can't keep the laws. And so then the only thing we have to fall back on is God's grace, right? And so I talked about this, and I preached this at my brother's funeral in Romans 7. Even Paul says the things I wish I do, I don't do, and the things I don't want to do, I do. And he's talking about the law. Mm-hmm. In that whole chapter, he's talking about the law. And he said, oh, what a wretched man I am. Who can ever save me from this body of death? And he says, thank goodness only Jesus can. But then you turn to Romans chapter 8, verse 1, the very next page, and he says, there is now therefore no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus. So if I'm going to try to earn it my own way, Romans chapter 7 says, oh, what a wretched man I am.
Right.
And I just am living in a body of death. I'm miserable all the time. Romans chapter 8 says there's no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus. How do I have my righteousness transcend the righteousness of the most perfect people on the planet at the time, the Pharisees? Not on my dime. It's on Jesus' dime, right? The Bible says that we are plunged into Christ. Those who are in Christ Jesus is that word. And it talks about we are in his righteousness. We're clothed, the Bible says. We're clothed in Jesus' righteousness. And so my righteousness on its own can never measure up to the perfection of the law. let alone to how good the Pharisees were. But when Jesus gives me his righteousness and I possess him, he's in me, and I have him, then my righteousness, when God looks at me, he sees Jesus. And that's the only way any of us are getting in, is through Jesus. And he unpacks it. So it's interesting. I just noticed this, by the way. So right before this, he goes, hey, you guys are the salt of the earth. You're the light of the world. He'd already said he's the salt of the earth and the light of the world. But now he's saying you guys are. You represent me. So he says, let your good deeds so shine before men that they would see your good deeds and glorify your Father who's in heaven. Then he says, don't misunderstand why I've come. And then he says, I came not to get rid of the law, but to fulfill it. But if you're trying to fulfill it, there's no chance. And then from there on, the next verses, he talks about murder and anger. He talks about lust. He talks about divorce and marriage and social contracts. He talks about vows. He talks about revenge. He talks about how we should be treating other people in our communities and our enemies. He talks about generosity towards the needy. He talks about prayer. He talks about fasting. He talks about money. He talks about faith and worry. He talks about judging. He talks about getting your prayers answered, right? All the religious stuff. He unpacks everything attached to the law. He talks about through the whole rest of the thing. And every one of those goes, and you can't do it on your own. And you can't do it on your own. And you can't do it on your own. And finally, he gets down to the end in chapter 7, and he goes, so keep on asking, keep on seeking. You're going to find it. You're going to receive it. It's a faith thing. This is what he's trying to turn. He's turning it all on his head. He talks about all the religious things they think if they can just give enough money, if they can just avoid committing adultery, if they just don't kill anybody, they're going to be good. And Jesus goes, that's not enough, because if you are angry at somebody enough to kill them, it's the same as killing them. If you lust after a woman, it's the same as sleeping with her, right? He goes on down the line. He said, listen, you are not perfect. There's no chance for you if you think that you can keep the law. The whole rest of the message is just proving that the law isn't enough for you. You can't do it. And then he gets here to chapter 7, and he goes, but listen, it's a faith thing. So he keeps tying faith is better than the law. And then he gets there, and then finally goes, so let me just sum it up for you. Treat people the way you want to be treated. And then seek me, right? And then he says in chapter 7, you can enter God's kingdom only through the narrow gate. So the other one says, if you're trying to earn your way to heaven, you're not going to make it into the kingdom of heaven if your personal righteousness doesn't exceed the righteousness of the Pharisees. He says, but let me tell you how to get to heaven. It's a narrow. It's a narrow way, the highway to hell is broad, and this gate is wide for the many who choose that way. But the gateway to life is very narrow, and the road is difficult, and only a few ever find it. And he's saying it's him. There's another point where Jesus says, I'm the gate, right? I'm the door, is what he says.
Right.
So I don't think I'd ever realized it before, that the whole message is him proving that the law doesn't work. And then he gets in and he goes, I'm the only way. We get to John 14 and he goes, I'm the way, the truth, and life. No one comes to the Father except through me. And so Paul takes chapters and chapters and chapters to unpack these ideas. And Jesus, in here, he just takes 3. And so his language is tighter. It's shorter. But when you compare it to everything else that we know in the Bible, he's saying the same thing. He's saying the same thing. You can't earn your way to heaven. You need my righteousness. Let me prove it to you, because even how you look at the letter of the law, I'm looking at the spirit of the law, and you can't get to heaven because you've broken all the law anyways. So then let me summarize it on this. It's faith. I'm the only way. And then you're trying to figure out how to live. Just treat people the way you want to be treated.
Were you surprised that I didn't sing Highway to Hell when you said Highway to Hell?
It says right there, the highway to hell is...
But then I just rested in the fact...
I'm so proud of you.
I rested in the fact because I just knew that all of our listeners sang it in their minds anyway.
Yes.
As soon as you said Highway to Hell.
Yeah.
We all sang it.
Well, hey.
So
there was a day when even rock stars knew the Bible.
Right, that's right. That's right.
Yep.
Yeah, well, the whole world knew the Bible.
Yeah.
You know, you watch like an old 70s movie. Did I ever tell you when there was a version, we have a little bit of time here. Remember that movie Bedazzled with
kind of
Brendan Fraser?
I think I'm aware of it. Yeah.
And Elizabeth Hurley, she played the devil. Well, there was an old 70s version with Dudley Moore. He was the guy, and Raquel Welch was in it and everything else. And anyway, it was just a movie about Satan visiting this guy and trying to trick him into some wishes. Okay, and anyway, so during this movie, now keep in mind this is like a Dudley Moore.
Right.
At the time was
big
very
actor.
popular,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, big comedian.
Okay? So this is a well-known movie. It's like in today's day and age, you have to be a Bible scholar to even get all the jokes in this movie. So like here he is.
But the people in the room would have known it.
Back in the 70s,
theater.
people in the room would have known it.
Yeah.
And so it just shocked me as I saw this old movie that he's making all these references about Moses and Abraham and the 7 deadly sins, and he's and there's these one-offs, and he's not making them with the devil or with God. He's making them like with people, and they're all laughing and talking about it, and it's like they're at a party and he's making Bible references, just like Joseph in the prison, and I'm like, is it true that our culture, like this movie was written to be a good movie to make a bunch of money, and so everybody must have understood these things, right?
Right.
Because our culture,
you would have to understand the joke for it to be funny.
yes,
And everybody would have understood it.
yes,
Yeah. And now,
no,
not much.
no.
Right.
I'm telling, it's no wonder why they redid it, right? All the Bible jokes went away.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Well, just even in these 3 chapters, I mean, Jesus says, "Go the extra mile." People have heard "going the extra mile."
yeah, that's right.
Right. Coaches will talk about going the extra mile.
Yeah.
Drill sergeants will talk about going the extra mile.
Mm-hmm.
That one there. Treat people the way you want to be treated. The golden rule. Almost everybody's heard somebody reference the golden rule.
Do unto others.
Do unto others as you'd have them
Yep.
do unto you.
And then
don't judge.
yeah,
That you be not judged.
Don't judge. Turn the other cheek.
Yeah, turn the other cheek. And those are just in these 3 chapters here. That they
Right.
still permeate a lot of culture. But yeah, the highway to hell thing. That's
Yeah.
where the idea comes from. It's
Well,
right
we
here in the Bible.
we did a series at
I'm not advocating for the song. But
right,
I am
right,
advocating for the fact.
Highway to hell. I
Even
had to
the,
sing it.
Yeah, even the rock stars knew the Bible back then.
That's right.
That's what we're talking
That's
about.
exactly
Yeah.
right. But anyway, the
So I hope our listeners learn the Bible better than rock stars. How about that?
right. I was going to say, I had a thought.
Unless your righteousness exceeds the righteousness of the rock stars, you're never going to make it.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, I had a fleeting thought. Maybe I'll
I'm
remember
sorry.
tomorrow.
I
No,
probably
it's okay.
interrupted you.
No, I sang. That's what happened.
That's what happened.
So, all right. Well, hey, that is definitely our time. So thank you for tuning in, and hopefully we will see you tomorrow on the Bible Guys.